Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Team One. We have created a Town Pulse app. It is currently live at townpulse.duckdns.org. So, who is Town Pulse? We have Team One, which is comprised of 4 individuals. Nicholas Van Doren, U.S. Navy vet out of Jacksonville, North Carolina. He loves pizza rolls. We have Scott Walker, U.S. Marine Corps veteran out of Jarrell, Texas, front reps. We have Logan Peterson, U.S. Army vet, Tacoma, Washington, always down for nachos. And then we have myself, Jose Medrano, U.S. Army vet out of Princeton, Texas. And because of it being Texas, I love barbecue. So why Town Pulse? So exactly what is this app? What does it do for users? Why did we create it? So a big problem with a lot of government sites right now is that when you go and try to find a council meeting within your town, one, it's kind of hard to find. You have issues finding it. So you're always going through different web browsers, different sites, and then you finally get to where you need to be at to look at what's happening in your town and see what council meetings are happening for zoning or whatever is going on in your county as well. You also need a place sometimes. Maybe you want to take a look at their possible concerts or maybe some events that are kind of taking place in your town as well. So it pulls that in and can tell you exactly what's happening in your town as well. So it kind of gives a resident like a single place to be able to plan out the week for whatever's in their town. And then with each new city, there's another data source to learn. So our solution is that, we have a calendar that aggregates all these APIs. You can filter it by city, you can save the events, and you can write notes about those events if you'd like. But basically, that's what this whole app kind of answers.
Great. So next is the feature tour. This is going to be high level what the app is capable of doing. You'll see we have dual sign-in here that supports social sign-in. And then once we sign in, you'll be able to see the rest of the app. So probably one of the main features is the visual weighting that we gave to the calendar view. The calendar aggregates all of the results from the API by date and shows you with a blue highlight and a dot if there's an event on that date. And like I said, that does aggregate between 2 APIs. The unified search also gives the ability to search by city and I believe also county. Yep. So we've got 4 loaded here right now, and that'll filter anything that serves the city or county that you've selected. And then, like Jose said, we also support saving and later taking notes to your saved events. So you'll see here the full CRUD operations where you can save and you can put with a note that entry. And then there's also model UI components that we'll talk about later.
All right, to create this full stack application, we used a Django 5.2 backend, which allowed the Django REST framework to work together with the Postgres 15 storage, G-unicorns behind the Nginx for when we pushed it into production. For integrations, request calls the Socrata Ticketmaster. Google Auth verifies our sign-in tokens on the server side. The front end uses the React 19 with hooks only, and we used the MUI 9 for the components and the theming behind the styling of the application. Next slide. The architecture of this, it sits within 3 containers. We have 2 external APIs. One's Nginx front door. The Nginx terminates TLS on 443 and serves the React bundle and proxies the APIs to Django. Django runs internal only with G-unicorn, talks to Postgres on a named volume, and reaches out to Socrata for civic events and Ticketmaster for concerts. Reaches out to Google for token verification, And then typical request, the browser hits the site, React calls our API, Django queries the sources, dedupes and returns one sorted JSON list to the user.
And so decision number one on this was the dual source aggregation. Since we were pulling from two APIs into one feed. The Socrata is the primary for the Civic events, and then Ticketmaster is an optional option. The endpoint pulls from both of them, then it takes the payloads, normalizes it, and it dedupes it to prevent the if you have an event that's both on Ticketmaster as well as in Socrata. So it does that by external ID, and then it does it by lowercase title and date. So if Ticketmaster's key is missing, the app will still work, and the Socrata loader is schema agnostic. So you can drop in any new city's data set by changing 3 different environment variables. Next slide. The next decision was one code base with 2 compose files. So during development, we went with the 2 Docker compose files. Docker compose brings up everything, but it mounts the source and the reload. Then the production uses an override file that resets it to wipe all the dev defaults, closes out the backend port, and then swaps the run server for the Gunicorn. And then it mounts up the Let's Encrypt certs that allow us to do the HTTPS with Google Auths, which is why we had to go with the duckdns.org instead of just a IP address. It's 2 different things, but it's making the posture the same. Next slide.
And then these are some of the small touches that kind of worth pointing out. So we use the MUI theme provider toggle. All right. And that's basically what this does up here. So for anybody, they have the option to be able to go dark mode, light mode. And then we have data normalization where all the API dates collapse to the standard year, month, date for comparison. And there's no data object surprises. And then there's, like they talked about earlier, the 2-pass dedupe where the first by external ID and then the title to catch the near duplicates. And then you have the second decision that we had to make, which was 2 doors of the same house. So you had the local sign up that we talked about earlier. So if you take a look at one sign out real quick. So you had the 2 different types of ways to sign in. Either you could do the local sign in here, or you could do the Google authorization as Logan was about to jump in and talk about. But basically that is what we decided to go with. Logan, am I missing anything on this for the Google sign in?
No, I think it was covered pretty well. Scott mentioned the reason that we went with HTTPS and the duck DNS free name address. And then, yeah, this is just to basically modernize the app to give social sign-in and also to kind of make up for some of the security shortcomings of DRF. We could add the JWT tokens, but we kind of put more focus on the social login to get that figured out for the app. And I think it works really elegantly.
Awesome. And then that's basically sums up our brief. So again, we created the CP Talent Pulse app, Team 1, and we went through a couple of decisions. We looked at what our MVP was, what our must-haves were to make the app do its function. And then we made a couple of decisions on some extras that we talked about just recently with MUI and then also with the Google authentication. And then that sums up our brief. We appreciate it. And don't forget to hit subscribe and like button for more content. Goodbye.